Welcome, everyone, to SCORE Fairfield County's webinar on Connecticut's Small Minority Certification Benefits for Your Business. I'm Peter Talion, the workshop coordinator and a business mentor here at SCORE Fairfield County, and I'll be your host today. This webinar is being done in collaboration with the Southern Connecticut Black Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Bridgeport Opportunities Industrialization Center. We're delighted to have Diana Washington from that organization on the call with us today. Let me turn it over to Diana for some opening remarks. Go ahead, Diana, please.
Good afternoon. I'm so glad to be here. And I want to welcome and thank everybody for joining us today. A little bit about the Chamber and the OIC. We're a business networking organization serving small minority and women-owned businesses in the greater Bridgeport communities. We provide educational and informational workshops, free access to contracting bids, and MBE certification. We are also part of the SBA's Navigator program, which is designed to target underrepresented communities and businesses. And our objective is to make sure that those businesses are aware of the resources and assistance the SBA has to offer, which is access to capital, business contracting, procurement, marketing, operations, and business development. If you're interested in learning a little bit more about either the Chamber or SBA resources, please, I've left my information in the chat box. And with that, I want to say again, thank you for joining us and have a great day.
Thank you very much, Diana, for your remarks for your organization's sponsor of today. Our speakers today are Shelli Orosz and Nicola Reynolds from the State of Connecticut Small Business Program. More on our speakers in just a moment. First, some brief information on SCORE. SCORE is a nationwide organization with 230 offices and over 10,000 volunteers across the country. We are part of the Small Business Administration. In Fairfield County, SCORE has over 100 volunteers with a wide range of industry, process, and subject matter expertise. We offer three primary value-added services to small business owners: free one-on-one counseling, which can be accessed via the Request Mentor link on our website or via the link on the screen. Number two, educational in-person workshops and live webinars, approximately 100 per year, and very extensive resources on our website, including a network of subject matter experts at your disposal, all of which are free of charge. Regarding today's event, if you have a question, questions will be answered at the end of the presentation by Shelli and Nicola. Please put your questions in the Q&A feature at the bottom of the screen. If you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a place to put Q, and we will answer your questions toward the end of today's webinar. Our workshop will end at 1 o'clock to respect your time. The session is being recorded, and the link to the recording will be available at fairfieldcounty.score.org within the next couple of days. Now about our speakers. Nicola Reynolds and Shelli Orosz are contract analysts with the State of Connecticut Small Business Program. The program serves as the primary liaison for small vendors seeking procurement opportunities with the State of Connecticut and private sector markets. The mission of the Small Business Program is to facilitate economic development for our state's small and minority businesses by recruiting, certifying, and connecting with them in that marketplace. This program has become a symbol of integrated diversity in the procurement process. We are now delighted to turn this presentation over to Shelli and Nicola. Please go ahead with your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicola Reynolds, and with me is my colleague, Shelli Orosz. Also on the call today is our program manager, Meg Yadashevsky. We're here from the State of Connecticut Procurement Services Division, and Shelli and I, we're just a very small part of our business outreach team. We want to talk to you today about the importance of the small and minority business certification in public procurement. Thank you for joining us today. As Peter said, we're going to ask kindly that you hold your questions until the end.
So the DAS is the Department of Administrative Services, and we manage most of the purchasing for the state of Connecticut through our procurement office. Connecticut is committed to opening up more opportunities for economic growth, and our supplier diversity program is a really important part of this. It requires set-asides for small and minority Connecticut-based businesses. So 25% of all procurable dollars in state agency budgets must go to small businesses. And of that 25% of that 25% must go to minority business enterprises. Now, the state can be a really important customer for expanding your business. We purchase a wide variety of products and services. We continue to have opportunities throughout, even during those lean times. And very importantly, we pay our bills. And also there is some added value. Municipalities across the state can use and often do use our contracts to make their own purchases. So that simply expands that potential customer base. Now, the certification program is free, and there are two types of certifications. We have our small business enterprise and our minority business enterprise. Certification requirements for the small business enterprise are that your principal place of business must be in Connecticut. You must be registered as a small business in the Federal System for Award Management, which is known as SAM. And Nicola is going to talk a little bit more about that in just a moment. Also, your company must be independent, and that means that your company cannot be dependent upon another company for sustainability. The minority business enterprise must meet the same criteria. The principal place of business in Connecticut, registered in SAM, and your company must be independent. It also must be owned by a person with minority status. And currently in Connecticut, that includes women, disabled, and ethnic groups. Now, this person must own at least 51% of that business, and this person must have operating and management authority in the business. They also need to receive the beneficial interest. So they should be the person who has the highest risk and the highest benefit from the company. The way to think about this is, what are you getting that other owners and employees are not getting from the business? And finally, and very, very important, is that you must have technical expertise. Being an expert at running an office is not sufficient for this certification. You must have expertise in whatever product or service you're selling. Now, that may not be where you're spending your time. Maybe you are now hiring employees to do the daily work, and you're more focused on developing your business, or maybe you're choosing to spend more time in the office, and that's fine. But you must be able to, you must be able to go deep on your actual products and services. Oops.
As Shelli mentioned, to be registered in the state small and minority business program, you must also be registered with the federal government through SAM, the System of Awards Management. Make sure you're registered for all awards as well as a small business. That is really very important. We also ask that you make your profile public. If you don't do that, we're not able to verify your information. The SAM registration determines your small business status, and they define this by using the NAICS code system. Some people find the registration process for SAM complicated. Some people don't. There are free resources to help you with this. There's a small business organization advisors, and there's the Apex guide. Your SAM registration is only valid for 1 year, so you have to make sure that it is always active. For the state's program, you do need to create a registration in BizNet. Once you've created that registration, you use those credentials to access the supply diversity application. Your business structure and your minority affiliation will determine what documents you need to upload, or even if you need to upload any documents. These information are on our website. Make sure that the email that you're using is your current email. It is our main means of correspondence with you. Our program certification is valid for 2 years. SAM is for 1. At 120 days prior to your expiration, we send you a reminder. We also do one at 90, 60, and 30 days. At 120 days, this is a great place where you get to check your SAM registration, make sure that it is active, so when you come into our program, you're all set. Keep in mind, however, that these are just a courtesy to you. It is totally your responsibility to keep up with this.
Now, certification provides benefits as well as marketing and growth opportunities. So after your business is certified, you'll be listed in our small and minority BizNet directory. And inclusion on this directory leads to marketing opportunities. So the directory provides search capacity to agencies and prime companies who may be looking for contractors or subcontractors to work with, and they may find your name on our directory and reach out to you. We also recommend that you include your small and minority business certification status with all non-state bid and RFP opportunities. Agencies and companies see this as an added value because your business has now been vetted by the state. All of this leads to growth opportunities. And as I mentioned earlier, the supplier diversity program only allows certified small and minority businesses to bid on set-aside solicitations. We also recommend that you register in our bid portal, which is CT Source. CT Source has got numerous solicitations opening on a weekly, often a daily basis, because state agencies use it, but also municipalities and nonprofits use it. So there are a lot of opportunities being posted there. The best way to keep up on those is to sign up for bid notification. And what you're going to do is check all the commodities that are related to the products and services that you sell. That way you will not miss opportunities. Now, but again, as Nicola said, this is why it's really important to make sure that your email is always up to date on your profile, because this is how we get in touch with you. This is where all our communication comes through. Now, these opportunities can lead to expansion potential by helping you find new customers.
We've come to the end of our presentation today. As our host mentioned earlier, the presentation will be available to you in a few days. In the meantime, Shelli's going to post her contact information as well as all the sites that we talked about today in the chat for you. We are available to you for questions in English and Spanish. We can help you with your application in both. Our website has plenty of resources for you, the requirements, the list of documents, the regulations. Also know that our website, you can change the settings so you're able to read it in a language that is comfortable for you. We're trying to spread the word of the small and minority business certification in the small and minority business community. So we want to get your feedback. We want to hear what's going on with you, what we can do differently to help everyone. We want to thank you so much today for joining us.
Thank you very much for the presentation. And we do have one question, and we strongly encourage other members of the community who are on the call today. We have plenty of time for questions. Please put your question into the Q&A section at the bottom of the screen. Our first question for you today is, does the minority business status include military-owned companies?
No, it does not.
And military-owned companies, how do they interact with your agency?
I'm not sure I understand the question. There isn't, bottom line is there isn't a certification for military. What we have is for minority owned, it would be disabled, women, and based on your ethnicity.
However, we do, if they're a small business, they can apply for the small business certification. That's open to everyone. I mean, well, that's open to all small businesses. So that would be the best way in terms of interacting with the certification, certification opportunities. However, they can, if they don't, if you don't have a small business, you can still sign up for CT Source and bid notifications, so that you're learning about opportunities as they're opening up.
Meg also just reminded us that the Veterans Affairs does have a certification for veterans.
Okay, let me go to another question that has come in. Are there often opportunities for real estate agents? Also, we are under brokerages, so will I be able to partake in this particular program? So could you spend a couple of minutes talking about whether real estate agents would qualify for the program that you outlined today?
Absolutely, they do. Keep in mind that especially on CT, if they're signed up on CT Source, they'll see bids from the state, the municipalities, and from nonprofit organizations. So it's not just the state, they'll get the opportunity to deal with other businesses.
Okay, our next question is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, so there are plenty of opportunities, if not with the state, with other agencies.
Okay. Our next question is, I'm not sure if my business qualifies as a food and beverage company. Could you talk about food and beverage companies and restaurants?
Absolutely. I'm sorry. They're certainly eligible for the small or minority business enterprise. That doesn't have to do anything with any specific industry. It's really around, the small business status and the minority status of the 51% or over owner. In terms of opportunities with the state for a restaurant or a beverage company, there certainly are. I mean, we purchase everything, and as Nicola mentioned, it's not just state opportunities that are coming from CT Source. There's also municipalities and nonprofits. So I would strongly encourage, I think it can be valuable for across industries.
Our next question is, can users see the opportunities before they sign up?
I think the question is based for CT Source, can they see opportunities? Yes, they can. There's a CT Source bid board. They can check that. They don't necessarily have to sign up, but what they want to do is sign up, because then they'll be able to get the emails for the industries for which they are a part of from everyone that posts a bid on CT Source in that industry.
Okay. Our next question is, my company is owned 50% by a minority and 50% by a woman. Does one of us need to take 51% of the business in order to qualify?
Ideally, that'd be great, but they obviously are a minority-owned company. What we tend to do in a situation like that is to see which owner actually has the technical expertise. We base our decision on the owner that has the technical expertise and contributes more to the business, and that will determine whether they're going to be based on ethnicity or based on woman-owned. And we make them aware of that before we do that, so they understand what they're getting into.
Okay. Our next question is, are there opportunities for small businesses who provide administrative support services?
And again, we would suggest across all industries to apply for this, because there are so many potential opportunities out there, and plus the added benefit of simply being certified, and including that on non-state bids. and RFPs. Nicola, did you want to add anything on that?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
In terms of company with administrative services, whether or not there would be opportunities.
Absolutely, there would be. Again, the state looks for everybody and everything. And once again, on CT Source, you're looking at an even wider range of people, the nonprofits and the municipalities. So there are plenty of opportunities for everyone.
Okay. Our next question is a general question. How do things work if you have an LLC in a different state than the state that you live in? Some states require proof of residence.
The question becomes, are you registered in that state, but are you headquartered in Connecticut, or are you headquartered in that state? If you're headquartered in that other state, then you automatically don't qualify for the program. If you're just registered in that state, but you're headquartered here in the state of Connecticut, we look at everything to make a decision on whether or not you do qualify for the program.
Okay. Our next question is, are there opportunities for fashion designers and handmade artists? Does the website have lists of opportunities?
You can always go to the bid board on CT Source and see what type of opportunities have been available in the past. I mean, I would say across the board, we're recommending it for everyone because there are numerous benefits. And also, we don't know what's going to be coming down the pike next. I mean, you can look on the bid board to see what contracts there are now, what past contracts were, what past and present contracts, but future contracts could include new things. I mean, there are new services and new products and services being requested by the state constantly, as opportunities develop. So
okay.
We can't guarantee opportunities, but we always, we pretty much recommend everyone. Because remember, the state is a huge the largest purchaser of products and services in the state. I mean, government in general purchases a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Let's change a little bit. Question on, are nonprofit organizations eligible to apply for MBE certification?
Yes, the answer is yes, but that would come down to who's running the company. There's a lot that we'd have to take a look at in that application to determine whether or not they're MBE.
Okay. The next question is, excuse me, how to get started. Is there a tutorial or a help menu or other information available in terms of how people get, what the first steps are to get started in the process of being certified and working with your agency?
You should definitely check out our website. I did include that in the chat, and I can include those contacts again right now. The website includes a step-by-step how-to. You are going to want to look at SAM, and we included on this list is also the step-by-step SAM guide that was created by Apex. That is amazing. They created videos. They've got worksheets like here, take step 1, step 2. They've got images on there to make it really easy because SAM can be a little bit difficult. And then you look on our website for the step-by-step on how to go through our process. Also, you are always welcome to reach out to us. We have our contact information up here. We are available by phone or email, and we're here to serve the community. So, and we take that very seriously. And so we get back to everybody and help you as best we can.
It's excellent. And I just point out to our listeners that on the chat are links that you can download and click on that are the step-by-step guide that Shelli talked about and other very valuable step-by-step information. Those are all in the chat, and you can take a look at those right now.
Yeah, and it also includes CT Source, and this is where our bid board is. So this is where you're going to look at past and current contracts that are past opportunities, basically, which will give you some idea of what may be coming up.
Okay. Our next question is there a benefit to being a minority-owned versus a woman-owned or vice versa?
If you're a woman and a minority, we'll include both of those designations on your certification.
Okay, but minority versus women, there's not an advantage one way or the other.
No.
Okay.
No.
We have one more question at the moment, but others coming in. How much is the certification? What is the cost to get certified?
It's free. Everything is free. SAM is free. The state certification is free. Any help you need is free. You should not be paying for any of this.
Okay. Another question has come in, so keep them coming. Once the application is filed, how long does it take to determine whether you qualified and that you are certified?
Well, part of that,
Go ahead, Shelli.
part of that depends on how many certifications we have in the queue. It's a first come, first serve basis. So we, first in, first out. We have a good staff, but we have a lot of interest in our program. So it really depends, how soon you'll be in our queue, and then you'll be assigned to a reviewer. And then how long it takes to actually get through the review process depends upon how complete your application is. It's very common that businesses will, for SAM, get the unique identifier that they need, but not do the complete process. When you sign up for SAM, the first number that you get is this unique identification number. But then you have to keep going through this process and get something called the CAGE code. So that is where I strongly recommend everyone look at that step-by-step SAM guide that we gave the link to you, because that is the thing that most often holds people up, is getting through that SAM process. And then, if there is anything missing on your application, we just let you know what's missing. We'll, be as detailed as possible to let you know what you have. We try to help you through that process. We take the time to explain to you what's missing. And the sooner you're able to get everything to us, the sooner we can get through it. So,
Okay.
But, let's say it could take a month or two, depending upon, depending upon how prepared you are and how much of a backlog we have.
Okay, that's very helpful. A follow-on question to the length of the time is, should one be approved, the certification be approved, but the person has already submitted a RFP, what's the process to notify the state of your updated status?
We try to, if someone is trying to bid on something, we try to help them out. So what they need to do is contact us, and our program manager will determine if we can expedite that application so they get on that bid.
Okay, there's more questions coming in. Let me just give a moment. Okay, if you register in SAM, will customers come to you, or do you need to place bids on individual projects to get work, or both?
You definitely need to do the, you definitely need to place your bids. That's part of the process. You might like, if you're on our directory, I'm not sure about SAM, but if you're on our directory, that is one of the potentials that, that an agency or a contract or a prime company might reach out to you, but, but expect to be putting bids in.
Okay. The next question actually relates to SCORE mentoring. The one-on-one mentoring that I mentioned at the beginning of the call, those are typically done on Zoom or over the phone. Occasionally they can be done in person. And the mentoring that SCORE provides is for all stages of a business. If you just have a startup idea, or if you are going through the MBE, SBE process, any part of starting, running, managing your business, SCORE volunteers are available to work and help you. And you can contact a SCORE mentor by going to the SCORE website. You can take a look at who the mentors are, or if you don't know which mentor you want to pick, SCORE will assign one to you. So we strongly encourage you to use SCORE mentoring as part of working on this process. Our next question is, if someone has an idea of a service but needs financial help to get extra training, would your establishment help with that?
Shelli?
I don't understand the question.
This supply diversity program does not offer financial help, if I understand the question correctly.
That, I think, is the question. So if the supplier program doesn't offer financial help, do you help by pointing entrepreneurs in the direction of where they can get financial help, or is that a completely different process?
That would be something they'd want to work with SCORE, right? If you need financial help, you'd want to work with a small business organization such as SCORE to look for either grants or loan opportunities. I'm assuming that's what you're referring to.
Okay. Another question: for the resource links provided, can they be sent with the PowerPoint presentation? So are you going to send out the PowerPoint presentation? Is that available?
I did send that earlier this week to you and Bill and Diana, but I can send that again so that you guys can share that with everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And
I'll include these links as well so that you can share those.
That'd be fine.
Yep.
Okay, I think we've come to the end of the questions and the end of the comments. So do you have any closing comments, Shelli or Nicole?
Oh, I think that's it. You guys have the information on how to reach us.
Yeah, and thank you so much for joining us. This is really a pleasure for us. You know, we're very passionate about the work that we do, and we're here to serve the community, and you know, we appreciate your time and your interest.
So thank you very much, Shelli and Nicole.
You're
Nicola,
welcome.
for doing this call. If you folks would like to see the recording, it is available in the next couple of days on fairfieldcounty.score.org. Reach out to SCORE if you need mentoring, one-on-one mentoring help regarding anything that came up on today's call. You'll be getting a evaluation session that will be sent to you. We ask that you fill that in. And we very much appreciate your time, Shelli and Nicola.
You're welcome.
And we wish all of the participants today a great day. That concludes
you.
our call. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Thank you so much.